What is love in the middle of sadness? What is love in the middle of impatience? What is love in the middle of anger? Okay.
Would you say all those different kind of loves as well? Because that love that is in impatience or in anger, in anxiety, and all of that, it's sort of, in the way I have seen it, it's sort of a different kind of love. It's not exactly the same for everyone. It comes from the same source, as you're saying, but it feels a little bit different. Would you say that? Like, we need to experience all those different kinds of love?
Well, I think, Pablo, that the difference in kinds of love, as you mentioned, would be depends on the level of our consciousness.
Jocelyn Arellano here to speak with us. How are you doing, Jocelyn? Thank you for being here.
Hello, Pablo. I'm happy to be here with you and the public. Very happy to share this information today.
Awesome. Well, let's start by speaking a little bit about the book and the whole idea of what lays after death. Let's go broadly first, like a very broad explanation of what happens after we die.
Okay. Well, the book came into being because we had a group of meditation.
Okay.
I think we were 7. And in that group, we started feeling that we were not alone in the group. There were other presences. And Carmen, my co-author and friend, Carmen de Sef, she has the ability to listen to the thoughts of those who are on the other side on different levels of consciousness, because everybody arrives to the level of consciousness that they have acquired on Earth. So anyways, that's how it all started. And because we started putting together all the cases that we were receiving through her. Anyways, this was many years ago. See, let's say I'm going to talk about the basics of the book, because the book covers a lot of things, like what you said, where we come from, what we're doing here, where we're going, what can we expect after we die. But I would like to say that basically, when the soul leaves the body, we will arrive at the level of light that we have been able to sustain in life. With that, I mean, what do I mean by the level of light that we have been able to sustain in life? Means that with how much love or comprehension of who we really are, a comprehension of our divinity, of our higher self, the broader our contact with who we really are, the broader, the more light we can hold. Hold means the more space we can hold in whatever situations we find ourselves on Earth. And this will have an effect on what happens to us when we arrive, because of course our understanding over there broadens in unsurmountable amounts, but it has a lot to do with how much we have been able to understand about ourselves on Earth. So that's a little bit, we'll go into more details and examples.
That's a great way to start talking about the subject. It's something that's usually not easy to talk about, because many people are not used to understanding it in the way that you're presenting it. Because we have this idea of having to come back to this Earth the whole time and not going to another dimension or another plane of existence when we live here. It's like either I go into being a master or just come back here. But for the way you are explaining it right now, it seems that there are more like in-between stations of development and evolutionary or evolution in between, right?
Yes, because let's say that our path through the astral world, the name that we give to the spiritual world that we go after death, okay? We call it the astral world, okay? That is the spiritual world that pertains to the third dimension. So when we die, we go to the astral world. In the astral world, as in Earth, there are many levels of consciousness. It's understandable. The level of consciousness means the more you understand your true self. Okay? Now, every time we go to the astral world or the spiritual world, where we belong, we make an assessment of the life we have just lived. We learn and we understand what we learn, what we still need to understand in a more profound way. So let's say the lives in the astral world have to do with understanding the process on Earth. I suppose understanding the process in other planets, but I don't really know, because we've only had experience with people with souls who have been coming back and forth from Earth. Okay.
Right.
But we understand that, of course, we can have lives in other planets, but that's not my expertise, definitely. Also, I want to say that everything I'm going to share today with you, I don't claim to have absolute truth. I'm just sharing what I have understood through the work that I have done with my coworker friend Carmen de Ser. So just keep what resonates with you, and if what doesn't resonate, just let it go. Okay.
That's awesome.
Yes. So when we go to the astral world, it's not only an assessment or learning about understanding the process on Earth, we also learn a lot on the other side, and we can make a lot of amends on the other side. What I mean is that the basic lesson that we're all here to learn is love. We're here to learn to love. To love in the middle of here having forgotten who we are, because we are of divine origin. We come from what we would call the fountain of all life, what we call God, or the unmanifested, or universal consciousness. We all come from this fountain of all life. We're all made of the same energy. We all have the same amount of light. But we have decided, all of us who are incarnated, we have decided to have an experience in this planet which entails forgetting who we are, because we are this divine spark that has to, let's say, needs all these layers in order to be able to incarnate in a planet of matter. It's dense. So this planet is spirit made matter, but it's really spirit, but it seems like matter, but it's really spirit in a very dense frequency. Right. So the whole point of this experiment is that since we come from love and light, and we're made of love and light, and when we were not here before incarnated, we are unconditional love. But before incarnating, when we were in the whole, in union with everything, and this union means unconditional love, as I understand it, we couldn't really understand what unconditional love was, because we had no contrast. We had nothing that opposed it. So how can you know what joy is if we've never experienced sadness, for example? How can we know what unconditional patience is if we've never experienced total impatience? So this whole planet was created in order to experience the opposites.
Right.
duality. We're here to experience duality. So here we are, you, me, and everybody who's listening to us, to experience joy and tears. So it was, this is, we understand all of this every time we go back home, because
Right.
home is the spiritual world. Not, this is not home. This is just an experience where we're learning. Okay, so what is love in the middle of sadness? What is love in the middle of impatience? What is love in the middle of anger? Okay.
I mean, would you say all those different kind of loves as well? Because that love that is in impatience or in anger, in anxiety, and all of that, it's sort of, in the way I have seen it, it's sort of a different kind of love. It's not exactly the same for everyone. It comes from the same source as you're saying, but it feels a little bit different. Would you say that? Like we need to experience all those different kinds of love?
Well, I think, Pablo, that the difference in kinds of love, as you mentioned, would be depends on the level of our consciousness. For example, one level of consciousness love would be, let's say that I am experiencing anger. Okay? Okay. One level of love would be, for example, would be, okay, I'm experiencing anger. What is making me angry? So I am going to go based on the idea of what I think is love. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm going to go out and fight whatever it is that's making me angry.
Right.
Well, for example, it could be I am angry because people are starving. So I'm going to go and fight the causes of the causes that create these problems on Earth. But let's say that I go and my way of fighting is attacking the causes of some of these problems. Okay, attacking.
Mhm.
All this I'm bringing this is like in a bigger perspective, but suppose I'm angry with somebody, okay,
Mhm.
with my son. Let's bring it more, even more personal. I'm
Okay.
angry with my son because my son is drinking too much, for example.
Mhm.
Is at a stage where he's drinking too much, and what I think is love is I'm gonna go and attack or confront him, and I want to make him not stop drinking. I'm going to see how the way I'm going to solve this anger is I'm going to try to change him or
Right.
make him understand that he's not supposed to do that. Okay. Or the same with hunger in the world. Okay. I think I am acting from a place of love, from a place that I worry about what's happening to him, or I worry about what's happening in the world. So that's one way of thinking about love. But let's talk about another. So there are many levels. For example, let's talk about the son or the daughter, or somebody close in my family. Okay, so my first way of solving this is you have to change. So of course, with time, I realized that that's not working.
Right.
Generally, that's not working. Because, of course, everybody, my son or whoever, everybody is in their own personal process, and everybody is going to do whatever they have to do according to when they're ready, according to the way they think and they see life. It's their personal process. So maybe in this process of wanting to make the other change, which I think is love, I will understand eventually that love is not wanting to change the other one. See,
Right.
that's another level of love. Okay, so now I don't want to change the other. I still do, but deep down I still do. But now I shut my mouth. Okay, now I
Uh-huh.
shut my mouth because
But
now
but
I'm
but
learning that I have to respect. So that's
but then
another.
you took But that's a big step forward for some people, like realizing that.
So that's another kind of love. That's a deeper understanding of what love is. Because now I understand that love has to do with respect to the other person's process.
Right.
It is because everybody has their own the free will. You cannot, I mean, if they listen to you, fine, but you have to respect. So, okay, so it's a greater love. It's a love that respects and understand that not everybody's going to think the way that I have. Not everybody thinks and acts the way I think they should act and think. So you see, this is what I understand with the different levels of love. Because what I understand nowadays, that doesn't mean that I practice it very well, but at least I understand more and more that love has to do with uh, with unconditional love.
Mhm.
What I really am has to do with including or accepting life as it is. That means people as they are, myself as I am, because the love that I am does not judge,
Right.
understands that everybody has to go through their own process, including myself, that I cannot jump or anyone else. I cannot expect anyone else to jump steps because I think they should, or I think I should be acting in another way that I am.
The next question I have is all that you're trying to explain now about love and different levels of deeper love. How important is that in the process of transitioning to the afterlife?
There it is. There it is. There's a big difference. Because, as I said before, we will arrive on the other side
Mhm.
in the same mental and emotional level that we are on Earth. Let's go slow. Why? First of all, we are made of different bodies or different layers, let's say, different layers, that all these layers that we're made of are spirit in a different vibratory frequency. So
Right.
we're made, the school that I come from, we're made of 7 layers. Other schools may say 9 or 11. It doesn't really matter the number. Let's just understand that we are made of layers. What I mean by this is when the soul is ready to leave, we've finished what we came here to learn. So we're ready to leave. To leave means to die to this world. So if we're made of 7 layers, there's only 2 layers that stay on the material world, which is the physical body, yes, the dress. Because the physical body is the dress, the final dress that I wear to body, spirit here. And the dress that I wear, of course, has to do with the way I look. Everything has to do with decisions I made before incarnating, that I was going to come with this family, with this husband, with these children, with these partners, all the life situations that I have chosen to learn about love in a deeper way. So anyways, I'm ready to go. So this dress and this dress, yours, stays here, disintegrates.
Right.
And there's also another layer very close to the physical body that is, we call it the etheric double, or the double etheric. It's a copy, exact copy of the physical body, very close, through which we get the universal energy or the key energy or prana, whatever we want to
Right.
read. Through this double etheric, we are absorbing the universal energy that keeps us alive. Okay, so it's only these 2 bodies that stay here. But we have 5 other bodies. We have an emotional body. This is the emotional body, is the body where all these emotions are carried. Then we have Lower mental body, where all the thoughts are carried, the thoughts that have to do with our belief in separation, our belief in that we're separate from everything. And then, of course, there's a higher mental body and what we call the causal body, and then the spirit body, which is the divine spark. So, of course, I leave and I still have emotions and thoughts. Okay. Okay. Now, suppose we go there because the transition, the transition can be very easy, and we go immediately to this light where we are set to experience this incredible, unsurmountable amounts of unconditional love. Okay, in this light, it's not even something that we feel. They explain it as we are this. We are this unsurmountable amounts of unconditional love. Okay, so say that this transition can be just as quick, and to be in this light and experience this love, and being greeted by family members that have passed before, or guides, and the amount of people who will receive us. It all depends on your process. It depends on what you need. We're going to go to the light, because in that light, when we get to the light and are welcome, and we will be so happy, then we will be guided to see the level that we belong. I don't like the word belong. I don't know how to say another word.
That's the word, I think. Yeah.
Depending on how much I have practiced unconditional love on earth.
Right.
Okay. But still, we're all going to feel this wonderful, amazing love. It's going to be wonderful once in the light. But let's talk about the transition. If we are, and it's very easy to understand, what we call the lower astral world, what in Christian terms they would call hell or purgatory, or different levels of darkness. All of this transition depends on it. When I leave the body, I am very attached to what I'm leaving, and that can be loved ones, things, my body, my youth, my fame, my house, my collections.
Right.
Attachment. If I don't want to let go of any part that still holds me to earth, I will leave the body, and I will find myself in a place, well, it's not a place, or a dimension, where I will experience cold and darkness. And the reason that I find myself in this situation is because my mind or my thoughts are still on earth, are still on what I left. I don't want to let go. Another reason besides attachment is fear, of course. Fear of punishment. That's a big one. That also keeps me in the dark. Fear of punishment, fear of judgment, guilt. Of course, guilt is a big one, not to let us, that it stops us from seeing the light immediately. For example, if I haven't learned during my lifetime to forgive myself, forgive others, if I haven't learned to accept myself, accept others, life as it is, all these things can be. Nothing is set in stone. I mean,
Right.
all these ideas that I don't deserve heaven, my life, all these ideas that my life was not good enough, that I have all these, that I can have resentment with others, resentment with myself, grudges, lack of forgiveness for myself, acceptance. I think that nothing was worth it. I'm mad because I didn't do everything I wanted. All these, whatever limiting beliefs that I hold in those moments will limit my way my transition, will limit it in the sense that it will not, I will not see the light immediately. And even those my loved ones who are already on the spiritual world are waiting for me, and my guides, and there's a whole committee waiting for me, even though they're there next to me, they are next to me, wanting, they want to show me the way, but I cannot see them because my attention is on earth. See, it's still looking there. I'm not looking, even though they may be calling me here, look to this way, I am still only looking at that. I do this in life all the time.
Yeah.
I'm only looking at what my limiting beliefs, and I don't look at the light, which is here. So these ideas can limit my transition in the sense that I will be, let's say, stuck in some kind of darkness and not see the light and cold. I just want to say something very clear. This darkness and this cold that we have been told they experience has to do only with our thoughts. It's a mental state in where I am believing limiting beliefs. The moment, and this is why we have masses, rituals, prayers, and we all pray in the whatever ways we know to help those who have left. Prayer is a massive amount of light that we are sending to those who have left in order for them to let go of limiting thoughts. The light that we send through our prayers helps them let go of these strings, which is our thoughts that are attaching them. And so then with the prayers, then we who are on the other side it's easier for us to say, I want to see the light. Here I am. Take me. It's easier for me to let go, and then I will be helped on the other side, and I will see the light immediately.
So what you're saying with this, let me see, because the way I am understanding what you're saying is that there's somehow no hell, and it's just a mental state of thoughts there that keeps us trapped in there once we leave the body. Is that what you're saying, or I'm just misunderstanding everything?
That's what I'm saying.
That is quite comforting, because it gives us hope of what do we need to do. So you're talking about attachments, you're talking about thoughts in the way of being feeling guilty, or feeling that I didn't do something, or whatever kind of grudges we're feeling there. And you're saying that masses and prayers can help me look at the light instead of looking back, So let's say that I die and I'm in there and I'm holding all my grudges, and I was really tough on some people, and I really feel guilty about a lot of things that I did, and I'm right there like trapped in that place of sadness and loneliness. And as much as people can pray, there is something that that soul needs to do as well. Is it enough with just the prayers and the masses everyone is doing, or does the soul need to really make some sort of change in there to see the light?
That's a very good question, Pablo. The same way I said before, there are different levels of love, okay? There's also different levels of darkness, or there are different levels of light, there are different levels of darkness. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to the masses and the church. I mean, not the church, I mean, whatever rituals we do.
Right.
The only difference between what we call different levels of darkness, which would be different levels of purgatory, different levels of hell, is the darkness of your thinking. Okay. It's not the same, for example, that I am attached to my loved ones, and I'm not ready to let go of that because I'm attached, because what are they going to do without me, or what am I going to do without them? That type of attachment.
Right.
Or thoughts that have to do with hell, I mean, with killing, with hate, killing, and okay, so those are different kinds of
Right.
darkness. Okay, now,
Mhm.
is it so? We're all going to the light. We are all going to the light. Okay, now, first of all, when we leave the body on the other side, or there's no time. Okay, so,
Mhm.
but we're going to talk about time because how can we
Right.
explain no time? So we talk about that. So how long it takes for each soul to see the light depends on how attached you are to your thoughts. Okay.
Wow. So there's not a fixed amount of time someone could take to transition from one place to the other. This is interesting. In all the research I've done as well in these type of matters, I've seen so many different numbers in different cultures about it that somehow it rings really true to me the way that you're saying it. It depends on the amount of darkness that you're attached to.
It depends how long it takes you to let go of those thoughts,
Uh-huh.
which is the same in life. You want to get
Okay.
out of your hell. Well, it depends how long it takes you to let go of those thoughts that keep you in your hell on earth. Same
Mhm.
thing over there. Okay. So, yes. Okay. So, light, which is prayer or
Mhm.
words of love. Prayer is words of love. Okay. Words of love is light. So, light helps those on the other side to enlighten their thoughts. Okay. So, and you also talk to them and say, ask to see the light, ask to see the light, ask for help. Okay. The minute you ask for help, the second, well, this is, of course, this is our experience. The second you ask for help, or you say, I want to see the light, or if you believe in God, God take me with you, whatever it is that clicks to you, but it has to do with letting go and wanting to go on a higher realm, that second you start seeing this famous light. Now, let's talk about the person who has had, let's say, a regular life. It all depends, because one that has not killed or stolen or done, things that we all do things that hurt us and hurt others, all of us, because our acts of fear
Mhm.
hurt others and ourselves. Yeah, but that's one kind of hurt, and the other is those who have killed because they are in love with power and they don't, they have not ever thought about nobody else's,
Right.
nobody else's. Now, when we get to the light, yes, it's magical. Okay, now there's a process in the light. Okay,
Mhm.
one of the things that most, let's see, most souls talk about, not all of them, because it can be different. It is different for everybody. But let's say that many have spoken about a life review.
Mhm.
A life review. This life review, which I find it's very interesting. Uh, Remember, there's no time there. So the life review, first of all, in this stage of the life review, we are accompanied, well, all the time, but we're accompanied by these entities who have so much light. And when I talk about light, I'm equating light with love. They have
Mhm.
so much love, light, that they're there accompanying us because with their love and light, or with their light, love, they're helping us to raise our consciousness in order to understand the purpose of our lives with more love.
Mhm.
So, because, okay, so all these moments start popping up. I don't understand how.
Right.
All these moments of your life, and you're not only seeing them as somebody who's seeing a movie, you also, I don't know how that happens, you're also in the middle of the action. You are the star of the movie. And the other thing that is very interesting, that you are going through these moments as if you were there right now, is that this is very interesting. for example, one of the things you start learning on the other side is that every act on our part that comes from fear, when we act out of fear, we create an imbalance in the universe. Because through fear, we hurt ourselves and we hurt others, because I'm impatient and I said something I shouldn't have said. And see, the interesting, our emotional body, because you have an emotional body, I experienced the pain that I made you experience through my words, through my actions, through my attitudes. You don't have to tell me that you were hurt. I will feel your hurt as if I was you. The same way that when I have acted out of kindness and compassion, I will feel the love that you felt, I would feel it as if it was me. So this is where the shock comes and where you can feel a lot of remorse. That's why we're sustained by these loving guides, because this is, many have reported having felt a lot of remorse because that's the way it is, because you start understanding that the path of the soul on earth has to do with walking through light and dark. And walking through the darkness is every time we act out of fear. And the only way we understand when we're on the other side, and here, that we're here to learn how to act in the middle of fear, how to act from love, is seeing the effects of our acts based on fear. So if based on ego, which is fear, I made all these people unhappy, okay? And I feel it during this life review. This is a great opportunity. This is a great lesson, because this is why I say we learn a lot over there, because you will not, since now I feel it like if I had done it to me, I don't want to repeat this again. And so this is why, for example, if you come back, you don't all come back, it depends. When the soul takes another body to have another experience here, for example, if I have stolen from many people in this lifetime, thinking that I'm not hurting anybody, okay? Because I think that stealing is okay. Okay, so when I get there and I understand the effects that created on others, as if it was done to me, I will come back to a life where stealing will not be part of my experience. Why? Because somehow inside of me, I know that it's not right, that I can create pain and disharmony by stealing. Because you understand, I'm sure that you or anybody who's listening to us, there are things that we don't do anymore. Right. I don't take what is not mine. I don't know why. Maybe it would be easy to take it, but now I know I don't take anything that does not belong to me. Or I will try to be as respectful as I can to other people's way of thinking. But this is the reason that I can experience a lot of respect in this lifetime, or that in this lifetime I'm not taking what belongs to others, is because I've already done it. Not always, but this is one of the reasons. I already know the pain that certain things create, so I don't repeat that.
I was wanting to ask you about reincarnation, and you just started talking about it the moment I thought about it. So I think it's being a really interesting situation and synchronicity what we're having here. So it's like I'm just having to ask the questions in my mind, and you're going there already. So don't worry. Just go ahead with that if you want, or whatever you want. You were going to keep explaining.
Because this is another interesting thing about what I don't even call it reincarnation anymore. I call it, because we've been taught, and I believe in this, I call it multi-incarnation.
Right.
Multiple incarnations at the same time. Now, because I know it sounds, and it didn't make sense to me that it seems like, I've heard, I don't know if you've ever heard the story of Sisyphus, who carries this
Right.
rock up a mountain. Time he's about to reach the mountain again, the rock comes down and he has to carry the rock again. I'm just bringing this story because sometimes when we speak about reincarnation, it's like, oh my God, I'm never gonna make it. Oh my God, I have made all these mistakes again, and no matter what, how much effort I put, I keep on, making all these mistakes, and now I'm gonna have to come back, and it's horrible. I mean, it really sounds horrible. I mean, really, I'm gonna
Right.
have to
Yeah.
come back because I'm gonna have to pay for these mistakes. Okay, so let's bring in a lighter version, a more loving version of this. See, this is where consciousness plays a game. A more loving version of this, as I understand it, is that, okay, I am in, let's say now, by now I am somewhere in the middle of the astral world because I am understanding more that my essence is love, and
Mhm.
I'm here and there learning about what this love that I am means. Okay, so one of the things that is I start getting clear is that I'm here to experience opposites. Okay,
Mhm.
and that's the purpose of Earth. I'm going to experience fear. And so I am starting to learn that when I act from fear, like for example, when I was talking about the son, the daughter, or somebody close to me, and I want to change you, okay? I want to change you because I think it's right that you change. When I have that attitude, I'm coming from a place of fear because I'm coming from a place of anger or fear that I'm very fearful to see you act this way. Okay.
Mhm.
It's about me. I have fear. I am angry. I don't agree. Okay. So I'm coming from a place of fear. Okay. The more I understand that love has to do with respect and understanding that everybody has to go through their own process. So now I'm over there understanding what it is, I'm understanding in a more profound way what it is to act based on fear, the
Mhm.
ripples that create, the effects that create. I am not respecting you. I am imposing myself because I am fearful. So let's say that, so in my understanding, because over there I'm also working on myself, this personal inner work of understanding where I'm acting from fear and where I'm acting from love goes on over there in the sense, even though there's unconditional love, I can see, I can see and understand where it is that in life I have to, in life and there, I have to open myself to more love. Okay. So it's one thing is I have to say prayer from those who are here is always helping us over there. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So let's say that we come now in contact with the possibility of what we call reincarnating, coming back to Earth. Okay. So let's say that in this lifetime, I want the lifetime, let's say that the soul, because the one, well, the aspect of ourselves that makes this the decision of having another experience on earth is the higher aspects of our soul, okay, where
Mhm.
love resides. It comes from love. Now, this Jocelyn, for example, has understood that, for example, well, that I stole and many times creating this harm, and now, okay, so the soul says, higher soul says, okay, so now I would like another. It's not exactly like this. How can I know exactly how it is? But something like this. I want an experience where I may have the temptation to steal,
Mhm.
temptation to steal, but this time I am going to access a higher aspect of myself of love.
Mhm.
And I will not do it. I want to go through an experience where I will overcome the idea that I can take something from somebody else that does not belong to me.
Mhm.
So it's not Jocelyn who comes back, it's the soul.
Right.
My higher aspect of my soul will have another experience where, as Paul, or as George, or as Marion, or whoever, in another time, in another whatever, and will have this opportunity of raising its consciousness, the soul's level of consciousness, because it will every time it has the temptation of let's say stealing, or the temptation of putting yourself down, or the temptation of not wanting to face your situation with as much love as possible, you will overcome the desire to act from fear, to act from a lower level. So the soul chooses another experience, not Jocelyn, but it's the same soul, but it's in another body.
Right.
So it's not me or you who are incarnating, it's the soul having another experience where it how do you say, compensates this harmony that has been done in this lifetime, will be compensated in another period, in another body, in another experience. Now, what is most interesting is that all these, what the reason I call it multi-incarnation, multiple incarnations, is that it's all happening at the same time. Now, impossible for us third dimension mental beings to understand no time, multiple lifetimes at the same time. Simultaneity. Everything is simultaneous. How?
It's like we're in the same timeline, but in different places in the timeline.
Exactly. And in different bodies. So,
right.
And this is happening to the soul.
Right.
Ours.
Right.
Not to Jocelyn. Okay. Jocelyn's body is finished. Pablo's body is finished.
Right.
My mother's body is finished. She's already over there. Yes. But the traits of in the emotional body and the mental body who keep on until a certain dimension, they keep on. Everything that I learn enriches the soul. Your experience, my experience, is not lost. On the contrary, it enriches.
It helps that soul evolve somehow, and the whole universe evolve. Now,
exactly.
I find this really fascinating, and I really would like to talk more about it in another moment, but I want to bring you back a little bit to
Yes.
I want to bring you a little bit back to what I've read and found out about you, that you talk a lot about, and really like this too, mysticism in daily life. So I would like to know how that idea of mysticism in daily life can help us get ready to that transition where we go through. I mean, that we go through when we're close to die.
Yes, to me, the way I understand mysticism in daily life is mysticism has to do with how much love you can bring into whatever situation you're facing in this moment, in the present moment. When I say how much love you can bring, how much light, how much of your real self can show itself in the middle of feeling lonely, angry, frustrated, tired, extremely tired, anxious. Okay. So to me, that's everything that's going to happen to us is fascinating later. But now it's also fascinating because, of course, the real work is now. Of course, the real work is always now. The now there, the now here, the now. Anyways, the now here is affecting the now there. The now here is affecting all the lifetimes of the soul. Okay, so what do I mean by that? I mean, to me, where I'm at today, that is that in the middle of fighting with something. Suppose I'm fighting with extreme exhaustion, tiredness. Okay, so I'm fighting with tiredness, and that makes me be low emotionally or mentally, or both. I'm tired. It could be I'm anxious, it could be I'm angry, or it could be I'm lonely. But I'm talking about I'm tired. What it is to bring light in the middle of this, to any difficult situation that you're going through right now, is first of all, light is love. Light means, or love means, stop fighting with whatever it is that you're experiencing right now. Okay. Because we don't even, many times we're not even aware. We think, oh, I'm lonely, I'm anxious, I'm depressed, I'm tired, I am. I feel a lot of guilt, but we're not even aware of how much we are fighting it. So there's the level of what I'm feeling and the level of fight, of resistance. So love, unconditional love, which is what I am really am, includes everything, accepts everything. Every single experience is included in the love that I am. Tiredness, loneliness, anger, impatience, of course, happiness. I don't need to say, but this is one aspect. I'm talking about levels of love.
Mhm.
I think that love has to do with fighting whatever it is that I'm feeling. No, love has to do with accepting whatever it is that's going on in my body, in my emotional body. Okay,
Even
so
even if it's anger, even if it's anxiety, even if it's sadness,
yes,
even if it's
yeah.
feeling guilty.
Yes, that's why I'm talking about the difficult ones, and all the
Mhm.
difficult ones that I have not mentioned, but you may be feeling,
Yeah.
that you may be feeling, and I'm not saying it, but you're feeling it. Yes, because see, there's a difference here. Sometimes we think, oh, no, 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 no. If I accept this tiredness or this loneliness or this self-hatred, if I accept this, it's going to get worse. I'm just going to wallow in it. Like if I have to do everything to get out of it.
Right.
Yes, 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 yes. But see, this is very subtle. We don't see that wanting to get out of it. It's the same that wanting that my son changes, wanting to get out of it has to do with I do not like it. I hate it. I don't want to feel this. And that goes against love. I'm not saying not to change it. Eventually, it will change. But the first step, if anything is going to change, the first step has to do with stop fighting it. Let go of resistance. Just sit down and open yourself. Welcome this anger and close your eyes and just say, okay, this is what I'm feeling. Yes, I'm feeling anger. Yes, I'm feeling pain. Yes, I'm feeling extreme tiredness. Yes, I'm feeling anxiety. Welcome it. It's very subtle, but there's a layer of love there. Then from that opening of the heart to whatever it is that's happening. Okay, yes, I am very impatient or strict with myself.
It's like what I'm feeling is that you're making me feel like love is a radical acceptance of everything that I am.
Exactly, Pablo.
And
And
when I hear you talking about it and be there like in that space, there is just something that moves me deeply about being talking with you right here.
maybe it's love, because love is quiet. Love is compassion. It's the quiet acceptance of, yes, of my humanity, because all of the things that I have mentioned are, expressions of a human life at times, not always, or for many times, it doesn't matter. I have experienced, not always, because usually my tendency is to fight. Then I realize, oh my God, I'm fighting this. Oh my God, here I am again fighting it. here I am again in resistance. So I ask for help. I say, please help me to accept this resistance. I start with resistance. Okay, so okay, yes, I'm tired. Yes, I'm angry. Yes, I'm anxious. Yes, I feel I'm not worth it. Okay, so in that relaxation, love, the light is coming in. That's what you're feeling. The light is coming in, or love is coming in. And then from that relaxation with whatever is happening inside of you, maybe you can choose to act differently. Or maybe you can choose, to act from a more towards yourself, first of all, towards yourself, from a more loving place. Maybe you will stop fighting somebody else, don't say anything anymore. Just be with what you feel. Don't say anything to that person. Don't react. Don't say anything. Stay silent and just be in a compassionate manner with yourself. Just treat yourself with kindness and if you can, don't say anything until you are acting from a place of more compassion towards yourself, lovingness, kindness to yourself, and then that will help you be a little bit more kind to the other one, because he or she is feeling different things, but I can assure you, things not the same, but human things that are not easy. And I say human things, human things.
And how that experiencing that light of love, of quietness, helps us in the moment of transition to the afterlife.
Well, it's a complete difference from light. I mean, it's the difference between light and darkness. When you get to that point, when you're leaving, stop fighting it. Surrender. This is what I'm talking about now in this moment in your lifetime, whatever it is that you're feeling, and I say surrender to it, welcome it. Same thing when we're there. It's the same thing. Surrender. And surrender means it's okay. It's okay that I feel all of this. Yes, I'm not perfect. Yes, I've made mistakes. Yes, I'm never going to be perfect. Not while I'm here. It doesn't seem so. The time keeps going by, and I don't see any perfection anywhere. Least in me. Yes, my life is whatever it is. But it's a yes, it's not a no. And that yes, but I want to see the light in the middle of this. Where is love in the middle of this? The love in the middle of this is acceptance. Love in the middle of this is let go of the fight. Everything is part of the process. Everything is part of the process. Every single dark moment and every single light moment is part of the process. And I will understand that when I get there. Because the whole purpose of love, right? Well, this is where I'm at. I don't know. It's no judgment, non-judgment, compassion. Trust the process, even if it seems horrible. Because see, there's the light in trust, in compassion, in non-judgment, because I definitely understand now that it's not about perfection. I still have a hard time believing, and we all have it, because we have been ingrained. This also has to do with mysticism now or then. We still believe in that the words right and wrong. We believe in that. Each one of us, most of us believe, oh, this is right. Oh, wow. Blah, 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 blah. And this is wrong. Oh, no, oh, down, down, down. We believe so much. We have been ingrained with the judgment of right and wrong that it's so hard for us to believe that love has to do with no judgment. At least now. That doesn't mean that we're not going to try to be, as loving as I can to myself and others when I can. But one thing is wanting to be and doing our best, and the other thing is the result. That we know that I cannot control results. I'm just going to do the best I can. As many times the best I can is very imperfect.
I feel a lot of compassion in your words, not only for everyone else, but in the same way for yourself. And it makes me also feel compassion for myself.
If you can feel compassion for yourself, that's a big step towards love. Unconditional. And so this, if we're in the middle of, we're leaving or we're dying, I mean, the wrong and right. Oh, my life was a mess. Oh, my life was wrong. Oh, my life is wrong right now. If we could see it, here's where meditation helps a lot. We can see the transitory, how all these thoughts are transitorial or impermanent. Same thing when I said about hell and purgatory. I said, it will take you to the time it will take you to see the light will be the time that takes you to drop all those thoughts. Same thing now. Drop that thought and just come back to presence and no judgment, and keep on the best way you can, in whatever way you can.
It's been a wonderful conversation about love, death, in a way that I wasn't really expecting it, you know. and I'm getting a message here that when you say, let me try to read it. Maybe we can. It says, when you say prayer, you don't mean the repetitive kind, right?
Oh no, yes. I mean any kind of prayer. I mean the repetitive one.
Okay.
It's different it depends on the religion that you've been brought up, or words like God, love, peace, light. And because mantras, prayers in any tradition are they are love words. They're loving words that have been repeated for centuries to help to bring love, to raise the consciousness. So it doesn't matter if you repeat it. When you repeat loving words, you're raising the consciousness. You're raising the consciousness. So you're helping those. It's much easier for those who are on the other side who do not have a physical body anymore. It's much easier for them to receive these prayers in forms of light. But they have told us that when we concentrate on the word, it doesn't matter whether it's a prayer or whether we concentrate on the word love, light, peace, God, if that resonates with you, then when we repeat these words or the prayers, they see like a light around the words. So they don't see, it's not like us here. They see light, and this light is what is helping them raise the consciousness to the light. So it doesn't matter what you say, pray. And when you go to, the best favor you can do for somebody who has just left is pray. Pray that they see the light, pray that the light be with them, pray in whatever way you think, pray for them.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for that, for answering that question as well. And I just want to go back to your book, A Doorway to the Light After the Experiences. I was told we can find it in Amazon. If there is there another place where we can find it, or people can know a little bit more about you and all your experiences?
Well, thank you. Well, the book, A Doorway Towards the Light, is found in English. It's only found in Spanish. It's found in bookstores in Latin America and Spain, and in Amazon. But the English version is only in Amazon. And about me, you can go to my webpage, jocelinarellano.org, and there's a lot of information. But yes, information is in Spanish. There's many videos, but the videos can have what do they have? They can have the subtitles in case, or if any So anyways, if you want to, the book is amazing. It's not because we wrote it, but really it has all these examples of what I'm talking about, examples. So it's great.
Awesome.
It's
Thank you again, Jocelyn, and everyone. Have a good night.